Guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today is patch day, meaning the awakened version of Estrilda is going to be up. We're going to go ahead, we're going to do some summons in here. Fingers crossed we get lucky with our time emblems. But as you can see, the animation for her is just absolutely epic. Looking at the Crimson Flame Conquest with the awakened version of Estrilda. Now, this is the fourth awakened hero that we have for the Lightbearer faction, which means we also do have 3 additional awakened heroes that are going to be arriving in 2025. And of course, this is the 4th iteration or the 4th generation of the Awakened Heroes. So let's go ahead. Let's pick up our 50 time emblems. That gives us 756. I want to pull up my calculator and make sure that we do have all of these in here and make sure that we keep the count, because usually and sometimes it has been 400 to 500 time emblems to actually build an Awakened Hero and then moving that over to the Stargazer. For some, like the Awakened version of Thane, it was 700 plus time emblems to actually get that hero build. So hopefully we're going to get some pretty good luck in here. Now, when it comes to the common scrolls, we're going to go ahead. We're going to save these. Stargazer, we know we have a lot of scrolls in here. Again, this is where you're going to build out the Awakened Heroes. This is where it's going to be adding those stars. And then the Temple of Time, we do also get the discounted summons. Now, right now, because it is very early with the Awakened version of Estrilda, I would wait to build her. I always recommend waiting about a week or two to build the hero. We don't know where she's going to be used. We don't know what formations. PvP, we're thinking absolutely probably in the Nightmare Corridor and the Curse Realm. I don't think they'd make an Awakened hero that is not effective in those game modes. But again, if you're building a hero, we're talking about, let's say, Envy. Absolutely 100% continue and always continue building Envy. Even if Estrilda is super broken, Envy we know is the exact same. The Awakened version of Athalia, there's a few exceptions that if you're building, if you do not have, they are still in such a very strong meta position. I would go ahead and continue to build them. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and do our summons in here. Like we said earlier, we do get our 6 discounted summons, meaning it's going to be less cards on those first 6 summons. It is 8 cards instead of 10. And let's see if we can get some luck in here. See if we can get some diamonds out of here. We know it's going to be also a lot of resources, a lot of cards, a lot of chests, which we can absolutely use. Now, with her, right now, I've been waiting to use my Poke coins to do the summons. That way we have the ability to get her furniture as well as Alvida. And there is our first copy, guys. So she is unlocked. Now, also remember with the Awakened Heroes, we do need 3 copies of each. So right there is 1. We need 3 to go to Legendary Plus, and then 3 more to go up to Mythic. So it's not 2 like a regular hero every single time. It does make it a little bit easier because we got the hero at Epic, or excuse me, at Legendary versus being just at Epic. All right, so that is 1 copy. I always got to make sure that we look and pay attention to see if we do get those diamonds. I usually miss them when we're doing the stream. I usually miss them when we're doing the summons. And there we go. That brings us copy number 2. So another single in here, but that is our 2nd legendary copy. No back-to-back copies like we'd love to see. I'm not seeing a lot of totems. So in here, you can get the legendary bizarre totems, which again are super, super important. As much as players hate the collections, you have to get them. It's an absolute priority. So there is copy number 3. Again, just another single. And we did get a totem out of here. So that takes her from Legendary to Legendary Plus. Now we need 3 more to go to that Mythic level, which hopefully, again, it's not going to take too many cards in here. It's coming from 756 cards. There is another copy and just another single in there. That only leaves us 2 more copies to get her built up to that Mythic rating. Signature item, I think I might be a little bit short on the red chest, especially if we're looking to get her to a 40. But the same with engraving. I know I do not have the engraving mats. There we go. That is just another single. So 1 more, and then we will have her up to Mythic. No back-to-back luck in there. So unfortunately, we're not seeing the best luck today. But she was literally just released a few hours ago with the patch that came up. Come on, where is that final copy? There we go. Maybe a double. Just another single. All right, so 3 more copies will take her up to Mythic Plus. Again, getting a lot of resources. Can't wait to open all these up to be able to hopefully level up a little bit further. Got some more chests out of here. I've been seeing a couple of our tier stones as well. Gets to a point where tier stones really don't have the impact. So there is just another single, two more, and that will take her to Mythic Plus, and no back-to-back copies. We're going through a lot of cards in here. There we go. There's another one. Just another single. So one more left at this point. And that one was only 2 summons away. That makes it a little bit faster. And there we go. A second time with 2 summons away. Gives us just one more copy. Let me make sure. Let me use these copies. I don't want to overbuild her. Look at all the rare copies we got. Blue stones. We've been getting a crazy amount of blue stones because we've been farming the towers. Let's go ahead and build her up a little bit. And I love visually how this hero looks. It is absolutely epic. All right, so there is number 2. There is copy number 3. All right, so that takes our legendary to legendary plus. There is our mythic plus. Means we need 3 more copies. 3 more will already take her to ascended. What are we at? 388. So it's been a pretty long road. We still need 3 more copies in here, though. Let's see if we can do it, guys. There we go. That is another one. So 2 more, then she will be done. Those last 4 copies were very fast in there. We need 2 more. There we go. Just another single. That's okay. I'm okay because we need 1 more. Maybe it'll be another 1 or 2 summons in here to pull her. Where's it at? We can see the little gold beaming piece of light right there. Boom. There is another one. I believe that is my last one. So if we do this minus this 278 that we have, 478. So not too bad. I mean, when we start thinking about the build and how many copies that we need, 478. Now that does include the discounted ones, but that also does not include the rest of the time emblems that we're going to get from the hero itself, or from all the events around everything around the hero. So that was 478. So again, not too bad with the summons in there. And then of course, once we have an awakened hero up to the ascended level, we can drop them in the Stargazer. This is where we're going to pull our final 3 copies to get the engraving on the hero. So hopefully it's going to be something good, or hopefully it's going to be some quick summons in here. Boom. Copy number 1. We only need 2 more in here. Getting a lot more resources. Getting some of those tomes. There's another tier 1 stone. Copy number 2. Going to be just 1, 2, 3 real quick. Where is this final copy? Boom. There we go. So not too bad at all to pull this hero. I am pretty happy with the results in here. Let's hit up some of the poke coins and see, because there is the 1 copy. Put that 1 star on her. That of course unlocks the engraving, meaning she is ready to be built. So let's go ahead and drop her in here. Now we have a crazy amount of heroes now in AFK Arena, but that does give us the ability to have her maxed out. There she is, level 1041. I don't know what club is. Maybe we don't want to go here. Yeah, let's escape out of that. Let's go back to AFK Arena. That's kind of odd. I'm gonna have to look to see what the club. It looks like it might be something to in the purchase realm. All right, so let's go ahead and look at this, guys. Light Bearer Tower getting relatively full here, but we have 99,000 poke coins, so we have almost 100,000 poke coins. Again, we are waiting for the awakened version of Estrilda. I'm assuming her and Alvida are going to work incredibly well together, but there we go. So we do have her entered, and there she is, riding the horse in the elevator, going on up. Doesn't even fit in the elevator by any means. All right, but wish list wise, who do we got in here? Oh, he is almost done in the entirety. We put Randy in here. Alvida, again, we waited to do the summons for Alvida. I'm going to drop out. I'm going to drop out Iran, and let's drop her in here. All right, fingers crossed, guys. Because remember, the awakened heroes have to have the engraving, have to have the signature item, have to have the furniture. There is a piece for Scion. The reason being, it unlocks the rest of their skills and abilities. The utility of these heroes is ultimately not as high as it needs to be if you do not have this furniture built. And even getting Laos a couple more pieces, getting Alvida a couple of pieces, this is going to make a really big difference. There's a copy for Zora. Are we not going to see any with 100,000 Po coins? There is another copy for Envy. Now, Envy, all of his furniture is attack furniture. There's Laos. So getting him past that 9 of 9 furniture does make a huge difference in there. Second piece for Laos. Come on, are we not going to see any? I know we're going to get a couple red cards. There's a double, and it's a double Zora, guys. That is incredible. Some of these heroes are starting to get that 36 of 36 furniture. And another double, Zion and Alvida. All right, that gives us 34. We've already went through a lot of these coins. Let's go ahead, equip these up. Laos is close. We only need one, I think, out of both of those. Yeah, one for Amira, one for Laos, and the rest for everybody else. Come on, Estrilda. There's another piece for Laos. All right, now we're just going to take Laos to that 9 of 9. There we go. So he is going to be done. That's where we want to keep him. Let's drop him out. Again, we're primarily thinking about damage dealers. Let's go Thane. You know what? We can get a couple more pieces for Thane. Still does have some niche formations. Tower formations, of course, being utilized. Where is another Marseille? Are we not going to pull any for Estrilda? There's another copy for Randy. Again, really, really high damage dealer. And there we go. Guys, we got the first one. Finally, on our very, very last pull, we did get that very first piece of furniture for her. All right, so let's equip this up. There we go. One piece for Alvida as well. We have a lot of additional furniture, which again, I think, yeah, look at this, guys. We are pretty close to maxing out a lot of these. I'm going to have to see what furniture we need to build for Randy. I think this one again. Boom, I know we got a lot of pieces in here for Zora. Diane's another one. Damage-wise, absolutely required to have higher furniture if you want to be very competitive in a lot of different game modes. And I don't think I have any for her. Yeah, we have one. There we go. So building it across the board. Again, I'm going to have to see what Randall needs. Not the way to do it because that was the wrong one. That was Tenacity. But that's okay. Well, let's go ahead and recycle. Let's see what we can do. And all those cards I am going to use for Estrilda. I am going to continue to build her out. I know, again, it's very, very early with the build. We're going to have to get some more Po coins out of here. But I am okay with building her because we know we're going to build her eventually. And there is a copy of Thane. He's another one I'm going to have to figure out exactly what we're going to do with that hero. And I'm hoping that Estrilda is not following the same thing that we've seen with Antandra and not having any utility at all within a lot of different game modes. But there we go. There is the 5 of 9 furniture. Cycle everything. I don't think that's going to give us enough for another summons, which it does not. And again, the other 2 upgrades we'll have to look at in just a minute. And then she is right down here in the bottom. All right, signature item, the Torch of Vengeance. This, again, you have to mandatory go to that plus 36 item, just for the simple fact that that is unlocking the skills and abilities. There is the plus 30. So we're going to keep her right here. Engraving, like I said earlier, I believe we have enough when it comes to a plus 30. Boom, there we go, unlocking the ability. Start a battle, she gains a certain amount of the Scarlet War Gear. 60, the effectiveness in blocking damage and health loss is increased. That's going to be huge. We do not have enough to build her up a little bit further. We're about 500 short, but that's okay. We'll definitely get her built. Then we'll have to go through. We can gear her up with everything that we have. I believe that's Thorin's helmet that she's actually wearing right there. So I'm going to have to go through. We're going to gear her up a little bit. 478 cards to build her. So guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.